Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah wa alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome, guys. Whenever you see a Christian trying to prove the deity of Christ to you, there are two ways Muslims have approached this, okay? There's one way you can try to show from the Bible that Jesus is not God, by saying that, for example, he didn't know the hour, all of that, but they have a way to go around it, okay? And me, I'm even against using the Bible generally, but the second way of going about this, someone wants to prove the deity of Christ to you, meaning he wants to prove that Jesus is God. They always do this, okay? So you shouldn't actually argue with them. You can just use the reverse method on them. There are some things that they still want to believe in. So I'll show you the problem with it. So if someone says, you know what, Jesus is God, don't argue with them. Okay, fine. If he's God, then it's problematic for you because now you have, prior to that, God, for example, you don't need to prove that God is God. God is just God. And for example, the Father is God. Everyone knows that, right? Now, the moment you add someone else that is also God into the picture, then you have two gods. Okay, so you can use that method of showing polytheism, which everyone wants to deny that they are polytheists. Okay, so you can show them that, okay, if you are so adamant on proving that Jesus is God, then you have two gods at least. The Father, who is also fully God, and then the Son, who is also fully God. Then what are you trying to do? So, there are two methods Christians have approached this. They call it the Greek and the Latin. The Greek and the Latin way of approaching the Trinity. One way is to show that there are three. So you want to prove that there are three distinct persons, fully God. And then you try to unify them using love and all of that. If you watch my other videos, I showed you why it doesn't work. And then the other one is to prove that the oneness of God. And then you try to show some distinctness in that. So that is the Western Latin way. So to me, people that are always trying to prove that the deity of Christ first, those guys are using the Greek method, where they are trying to show the full divinity of each of the persons, which will lead to tritheism, polytheism, basically. So if someone wants to prove that Jesus is God to you, just tell them, okay, fine. If he's God, then he's God in addition to the Father, who is also God before, who was God prior. And then you have two gods. How are you going to go around that? All the tools that they've used, I've shown it on my channel that it doesn't work. For example, talking about love, talking about interpenetration, talking about procession, divine procession, eternal, that they are all eternal. All of that doesn't work to preserve monotheism. What it shows rather is that it's polytheistic, to say the least. So that's the other way you can go. One way is to show that Jesus is not God by proving from the Bible. For example, he didn't know the hour. You can show that. But they will say, he didn't know the hour because that was a man. Now, you can use, by the way, before he even became a man, even if he didn't become a man, it's still not God. You can prove that. I'm not saying you cannot use it, but I'm just showing you another method. The other way is to show that, see, Jesus, even before he became, so it was the Word of God, okay? So the second person of the Trinity, prior to the incarnation, what was his status even before he became a man? So you cannot appeal to two-nature Christology anymore. Even before he became a man, what happened? He was caused to exist by the Father. So eternal generation. It was caused to exist by the Father. So you cannot appeal to to two-nature Christology then. Yeah. So I'm just trying to show you that, see, you can also use that method to show that, no, you cannot appeal to mystery because, because even before incarnation, it was generated, it was caused to exist, it was given divinity. And God, by definition, using perfect being theology, God is not caused to exist. God is not given divinity, it's necessarily God. So you can use that other method too. So, but the main one in this video I want you to get is that if you find someone that is really struggling, he wants to prove that Jesus is God, just show them that they are polytheistic, simple as ABC. So I hope you learned something from this video, and see you guys later. I'm in a restaurant, so I cannot shout too much. I hope you hear it loud and clear. So see you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.